It is not easy to select, and it doesn't look like this. It is actually a rather complicated structure, and it is actually designed for each vessel. This is more or less the same for all makers. And it's different technologies, have different working ranges, and different capacities. So all ships shall install from now on at certain dates. They need IMO approval, or if you're sailing to the States, you need approval from a system with approval from Coast Guard. Today, over 70 systems are approved by IMO, and I say here only 11 are approved by Coast Guard, but this morning it became 12. Up to 60,000 vessels shall have ballast water treatment on board within the end of 2024. So it is a lot of reading to look at 70 different systems, and if you want to assure that your vessel will get good quality system, or there might be systems you don't know available for you, you better start thinking now. This is one thing that is very important. The US Coast Guard testing is 100% neutral. You cannot be there as a supplier or anything. It is like you are putting your car for service. You leave the key, and then you're waiting for a telephone with good or bad news. And that's how it works. The test regime is very tough, very detailed, and it also tests for fresh water. That is something that this IMO is not doing. Also, the system design is evaluated, the user friendliness, and so on. It is costly, and it takes long time. For ballast water treatment system, having a US Coast Guard type approval is basically a quality stamp. So these are the ones who has the, and this is available from the Coast Guard website. And when you are looking for ballast water treatment system, my advice, concentrate on those who has the US Coast Guard approval. And why? It's very difficult to evaluate 70 systems, and the IMO certificates are long reading and a lot of paragraphs, etc., etc. The US type approval certificates are very straightforward, easy to understand, and very easy to see the differences between the different systems and the different technologies. Limitations is actually described very clear in the US Coast Guard. In IMO, it's nothing about limitations. That's a big difference. If you don't read the IMO certificates really carefully, you will have a problem understanding the differences. And if you look at the type approval from the US Coast Guard, it will be more easy to see what suits your vessel. If you look here, you have things like holding time, meaning after taking ballast, you cannot discharge for the one up here on the left side, 3 days. So you have to wait 3 days until you can discharge. In some cases, it's not a problem, but if you are sailing between two ports in the United States with short distance, you have to wait. So maybe not suitable for you. You find here, up on the right side, holding time, 24 hours. Feeding temperature for making the system work, 15 degrees. Salinity, which is important to make an electrolysis system working. Limit here, 15 PSU. Normal seawater is the 30 to 35. And here on the bottom, feed temperature, -2, feed salinity, 0.9. So as you see, only with these 3 examples, it is a big difference. So this is what I say, look careful for. Of course, when you go through this, select first the systems that is most suitable for your operation. Make a short list, and then evaluate price, the CapEx, and OpEx. OpEx can be big different from system to system, and also between the technologies. Because it is related to the ballast pattern, and it's related to how you actually operate. And you can get very accurate OpEx if you provide the rate data. And that is something any ballast water treatment supplier should be able to provide. And then make your final shortlist. Because what you are then starting is not an easy process. You have to go through all that is mentioned here. The physical installation, which everybody is concerned about normally, that's a minor thing. This is what takes time. And this is how long time? This is 10 steps from system selection to commissioning. If you have planned the process very well, 37 to 40 weeks, and not so well, 49 to 50, almost a year. This is when you shall start. So, select a maker. And then, of course, you have the normal process. But since it's so many other third parties involved here, you have to agree in the contract with the maker a lot of matters for when you are purchasing. And then you have the design part, which is my friend over here will talk about later. And this is also a process taking time. And you have to actually find out if the selected system fits your vessel. It's hard sometimes to say in beforehand if it does. And then the engineering and design itself. And then, of course, you have class doing the approval. Class approval looks like it can be a future bottleneck. And then you have the manufacturing. That is the thing the maker do. Many of them has just assembly, but still it takes time to get all the different parts. And then you have the yard responsibility, which is what is needed to actually connect your system. Everything here based on the final class approval of the design. And then you have the delivery. Where is your maker? Is it a European maker? And you are docking in China? That's 5 weeks. So things take time. And this is really important for the physical installation. The production of pipes and spool pieces, etc., that they are ready when the ship arrives is of key importance. And the lack of proper design work, you can stay a long time in the shipyard. Finally, commissioning, which is typically done by the manufacturer or somebody representing him, and normally it's also including training of the crew that are on board the vessel at that time. So, then we have system on board and running. The total time, as I said before, 37, 49 weeks, most likely a little bit more. The better you plan, the shorter the time. And here I can talk from experience. We have seen owners doing good planning and things have run very smooth. Installation has been done even shorter than we have expected, even on shipyards that had no experience in installing ballast water treatment systems before. So, thank you very much.